Now imagine a grade 6-7 classroom where the students are told there are no answers, only questions. Welcome to room 121 at Prince Charles Elementary School in Surrey, British Columbia. Tiffany Poirier is the teacher. I spoke to her in the fall about the joy and challenge of her work and her crusade to bring the study of philosophy to young children. Nothing lights her up like a group of kids wrestling with the big questions of life. So we asked ourselves a couple of deep ones. If not now, when? And why not? It seemed only right that we should pay a visit. So here they are, the toga-clad thinkers and their teacher, Tiffany Poirier.
So guys, get your togas. Let's get into the circle. Oh, yeah. Show me a circle, not an egg. We have to do our thinking process.
The reason we're wearing togas is to symbolize philosophers, because when people think of philosophers, they usually think of the ancient Greek. They're really hard to put on because you get all tangled in the bed sheets. But I got mine pre-made, so I'm very happy about that.
Just to add on to what Cecilia said, you also get poked by a lot of safety pins.
I would love to wear the togas every day because they make me feel like I'm royalty, and yeah.
If I wore a toga every day, the people in my school would think, what's going on with this guy?
Yeah, you'd be kind of weird wearing it, but at least you'd stand out and be unique.
I think it would have been really hard for people in the olden days to wear togas because underneath their togas they didn't wear underwear.
For our starting question, what does it mean to be a philosopher? Is it about the toga that you're wearing, or is it about the ideas that you're having? Like, what do you think? What does it mean to be a philosopher?
It's about the ideas.
I think in a way, a lot of famous philosophers were kind of stubborn people because when they came across a question that they couldn't answer, they didn't let it go. They would just stick with it until they found an answer that they liked.
I think being philosophical is looking at a question from every possible angle, finding every possible explanation for a question that probably can't have any answers.
What is the meaning of life?
Am I seeing what you're seeing?
What is everyone's perspective on life?
What started it all? What happens after we die? Happiness. What is happiness? What is it worth? Is pursuing happiness our purpose on earth? I think happiness is love, because if there was all the love in the world, everyone would be happy because there wouldn't be war.
Well, I think happiness for everyone might be a little bit different because some people's version of happiness might be different to others. For example, Marshall's version of happiness may be love, but my version of happiness may be getting something that I might have wanted.
I think happiness is the most important thing in life because if you aren't happy, there's no point in really living because you don't enjoy every moment of it and you don't think that it's a good thing. I don't think you can necessarily put a price on happiness because there are many different levels of it.
What would really make me happy is to always be able to learn new things and discuss my findings and the things I learned with other people.
I think it's not possible to be happy all the time, and there's no such thing as complete happiness because there's always something in your life that's going to make you sad.
I think love and friendship and peace doesn't always bring you happiness.
I don't think there is true happiness, and if there is, there has to be some sort of sadness or anger that can make happiness look all the more better. If everybody did love each other, not in an actual, true love type of way, but just respected each other, then war might stop, and I think that would cause a lot of happiness.
Well, I think, sometimes happiness can eventually fade away, because, for example, I get something that I really wanted, but then maybe after a few months, I don't really feel the happiness anymore, because, eventually happiness fades away.
I think there's really no such thing as true happiness, and I think people just use it as a mask to cover the real emotions.
The reason why I think there's no true happiness is because that happiness is also always mixed in with other feelings such as guilt, sadness, because when you get married and then you have a child, and let's say the child was born with some genetic disease, then you were happy when it was born, but when you learned about it, the happiness was also infused with sorrow, so it can't be true happiness.
I think happiness is when your mind is like satisfied with something. If you're like always satisfied about your life, and even if something sad happens, you'll mostly stay happy, so you could stay happy all your life.
I believe that to truly be happy, you have to appreciate that you are happy, or else one day when you're sad, you'll have to remember it so that then you can be happy again because you know what it feels like. Is there life in inanimate objects?
Are animals smarter than humans by not making technology?
Are gods real?
Is there a true religion?
Is the reality we're given a luxury?
Dreaming. Sometimes dreams seem real, and sometimes life seems fake. So how do you know when you're dreaming? How do you know when you're awake?
In my dreams, I cannot sense anything. I cannot smell, but I can touch and see. So when I know when I am awake, I use all of my senses to see what is.
If this was a dream, would it just be a waste of time?
Maybe like when we die, we're not exactly dreaming. And then maybe you have more senses, like maybe a sixth sense or a seventh sense. Or something like that, because I've heard of it in books.
Sometimes I wonder if there's like an alternate universe. It's where we think that we're dreaming, and then when they dream, it's our reality, and when we dream, it's their reality.
What if what's happening right now is perhaps that we're participating in someone else's daydream, or we're having a daydream and everything else? All the other people in the world are all just in a part of our imagination.
Sometimes I wonder if when we're dreaming, we become like a soul, becomes like transported to another dimension, and so we're actually doing stuff, but in that dimension we can't taste or smell.
In that next dimension, are you able to do anything at all, or are you just floating around limplessly?
When we die, do we actually go into a dream? Or when we die, is our life actually end?
You can control your life and what you're doing. In your dreams, you cannot.
It's happened to me before. I dream of a really, really entirely awesome dream. And the next day I wake up, I can't remember a fragment of it. So I'm kind of getting second thoughts about this.
What's happening to you in the real world can influence your dreams. And also, I don't think that we could be dreaming right now, because what dreaming is basically a label that humans have put on something, which is actually a vision while you're sleeping.
Sometimes I wonder that when you're dreaming, you might be seeing future visions of someone else or even yourself.
I've always wondered if there was a purpose for dreaming, and I think a possible purpose for dreaming is a way of your brain escaping from reality.
This question about dreaming, this goes into science because we can get information from empirical studies about what dreaming is, but it also goes into philosophy because there are some answers that we don't have. So that's why this question was a little bit more challenging than some of the other questions, because it treads a fine line between scientific information, empirical knowledge, and the other side, philosophical.
I believe that the only questions that have only one answer are scientific questions, but if you get into like philosophy and the depths of mind, then I think that there can be more than one answer.
That was Tiffany Poirier and her grade 6-7 students at Prince Charles Elementary School in Surrey, British Columbia. Our thank yous to Abnash, Alex, Anna, Cecilia, Shahid, Frank, Jana, Lauren, Mark, Marshall, Matthew, Meriwether, and Sophia for their wisdom. and to CBC's Yvonne Gall for bringing us their voices. Now, if you'd like to see photos and a video of the young philosophers in full toga, go to our website, which is cbc.ca/The Sunday Edition.